we're back. Thank you for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I'm your host, Toni Ringold. And so I have a very, very extra special guest with me. I have the son of Miss Nika Ragsdale. He's going to read for us an excerpt from her book, DeMarcus Jones and the Solar Calendar. Mr. Kai, go ahead.
Chapter 2. Do something, game. DeMarcus, I'm so tired of you getting in trouble at school, Mom stated. Why don't we have the ability to change schools right now? I just want to work with my work schedule, or your dad's. Mom, my teacher yells at me for everything, but she doesn't yell at My teacher yells at me for everything, but she doesn't yell at my classmates. Maybe you should just remain quiet and stay seated all day, DeMarcus, and then she won't have anything to say. I looked at my mom in disbelief. How does she expect a 10-year-old as cool as I am to sit quiet in a classroom for 7 hours? That's impossible. DeMarcus, don't you look at me that way. Mama, the schoolwork is easy. My classmates are never prepared. I am the smartest kid in my class, but I'm the only one who gets in trouble. Every time your teacher blames you for something, you agree that you did it, which means that she is not lying and you need to behave better. But Mom, I tried to explain. I don't want to hear it, DeMarcus. My mom sighed. She looked like she was tired. Why don't you tell me what you learned in school today? I didn't have a chance to learn, Mama. I got kicked out of class first thing in the morning. She looked defeated. I felt bad for her. I guess she wanted to be on my side, but maybe she felt like she had to agree with my teacher. I tried to keep up with the subject. Well, I asked Joey what did I miss in class, and he said they were talking about Thanksgiving. You know, about the Pilgrims and the Indians. She looked really interested, so I continued. Then he said we hadn't discussed black people yet because the Pilgrims hadn't brought us from the jungle. After I said that, she looked shocked. Now, I said black people were here before then, but I couldn't remember learning anything about black people in school. It does seem like we didn't exist before slavery, even when we talk about world history. Is it true that black people didn't exist until they were brought to America from Africa? My mom looked confused. She looked like she was searching for an answer. Black people were everywhere, baby, she answered. Well, can you tell me where I can find out more about it? Because I want to have something better to say next time. My mom still looked confused. Okay. I didn't wait for her to give me any information because it was obvious that she didn't have any.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, so as soon as we're off the air, I'm purchasing that book for my son, who's 10 years old. Thank you so much, Kai. Wow. Oh, I just had a moment. Like, I'm really, like, that's really emotional. Like, I'm having an actual emotional moment. That, I've been toying with this idea of homeschooling my kids for a while. And because they don't get that's like I'm trying not to cry, but it's like they really let's cry. They really don't get the history that they need. They don't get the exposure, and it's not incorporated in their education. I'm gonna say this. Although I'm very grateful for my education, I'm grateful for the scholarships that I received. There was a school that I went to. I'm not gonna name it out loud, but my university experience was awful because I learned nothing about me.
Right.
I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like this information didn't pertain to me. I felt like it wasn't going to do anything for me. And I felt like I was nothing. And that was really my experience.
Yeah, that's kind of the purpose. That's kind of the purpose.
And I think about all the kids. And then you girl, you wrote that because that's how kids feel.
Right. So I wanted it to be something they could pick up regardless if my mom knows or my mom doesn't know, or my dad knows, or, you know, no one gets it. I can pick it up, I can relate to it, and I can get some information.
Right.
And then there's enough facts in there, you know, with this day and age with the computers, there's enough facts in there that I got some information. I can go Google it if I need to and start to, because you'll see that right after that first chapter when he goes to meet General Barker and he goes over to Rome and he comes back home and meets, after he meets Queen of Shep, so he comes back home and he says he's going to do research. He gets online and he searches and he finds out that it's not as easy as he thought. He said, this coin doesn't look like General Barker. This guy is a white guy. And he says, this doesn't say anything about Queen of Shep's suit being black. I would have never guessed it. Right. So to try to get the kids to understand that the information is there, but it's, for lack of a better term, it's buried. And so you have to really pry and pull it out. But that's the goal, that they can pick it up, that any 10-year-old, 8, 9-year-old, 12, 15, 30-year-old can pick it up and get enough nuggets that they realize, I am somebody. I'm not the only one in this situation. We deal with this a lot. You know, it's never talked about, obviously, because people shun from it when you're, you know, in a large group setting. No one wants to talk about it.
Nobody.
But hopefully with a book, you know, that's in your head, that's personal when you read a book. So hopefully with a book, it'll inspire someone somewhere to you know, go off and do further research, or hopefully inspire them to be better, or at least feel proud when they're sitting in that classroom. You know, in the third book, we talked about the Civil War. Well, a lot of books we touch on different things that you'll learn about in history. And so the little kid in there, he says, well, I remember learning about the Civil War, but this seems different. And then that person happens to be Nat Turner in that book that's talking to him. And he says, probably because they never told you where you fit in this story. Right. You know, you always thought you were just a slave and that was it. But you're a big part of this story. You're on all the sides. There's information here about you.
Right.
So that's kind of where we're going with it.
I mean, this is some incredible information. This is some stuff that's going to change lives. We really have to delve into the psyche of our children, and we have to create a new foundation. We wonder why our kids are in trouble and they're in alternative schools, and they put our kids in alternative schools. The child can sneeze. All right, you going to alternative school. Child will fall out of chair. Up. You're disrupting.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta go to the restroom. Oh, you're just trying to play hooky. Like, there's always, it's like our children are targeted, if we're gonna be truthful. And then if they do have somewhat of a behavioral issue, every time something happens, they're the first one that gets blamed for things. So it's being embedded in our children that there's something wrong with them. Yes. And it's being embedded in them that they're not good enough, or that they're bad. And so when you have something like this to counteract that, and then to put a face on it too, because he was targeted, and then to learn about himself, man, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Honestly, kudos to you, because this is really important information. It's something that needs to happen all the time. I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Okay, so how can people get this information? How can they find you?
DemarcusJones.com. Everything links there.
DeMarcus Jones. That's DeMarcus Jones.com. All right. Guys, make sure that you go get this book. Guys, make sure that you're teaching your children history. And this is for anyone, whether you're black, white, yellow, purple, green, orange. Make sure that you are embedding in your children all history. And make sure that what you're teaching them is accurate and true. Do a little research. Do a little digging. Thank you so much for taking all of that information that you had and put it in a book so that a child can learn the truth. I really want to thank you so much. DeMarcus Jones and the Solar Calendar. You have 3 books already, right?
Yes.
And you're working on your 4th.
I am.
So guys, you got to go ahead and get this series now. Go ahead and get this series. DeMarcusJones.com, DeMarcus Jones, and the Solar Calendar. In honor of Black History Month, if you don't do anything else, get this book and give it to a child, whether it be your child or somebody else's child. And just pass along this information. Thank you so much again for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I'm your host, Toni Ringold. Be sure to follow me on Facebook at Toni Ringold. That's ToniRingold for all information, upcoming events, and things of that nature. Also, make sure that you go on myb106.com and search Toni Ringold. On there, I have a tab. You can listen to all my shows. This one and the previous shows will be online, so you can stream it anytime. Again, thank you for tuning in. And be sure to check out Premier Music Academy if you're looking for any lessons, voice lessons, piano, guitar. We just hired in a new bass instructor as well. So we have some specials coming up. That's Premier with an E, Music Academy. You can find us on Facebook or go to premiermusicacademy.com, or you can just give us a call at 254-577-0993. Hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday and you be blessed.